natin sa buong mundo na ang Pilipino may kakayanan na magpahusay ng kabuhayan Pilipino.
That we call on all patriotic Filipinos to discard ideological differences, party affiliations, disparity of religious beliefs and regional origin, to close our ranks, stand behind one flag, commit our honor, dedicate our lives to fight as best we can in defense of our country.
Ang ating katipunan. Ang ating katipunan. Ang palatuntunang maghahatid sa inyo ng mahahalagang impormasyon tungkol sa mga kaganapan sa loob at labas ng bansa.
Ang ating katipunan.
Magbibigay liwanag sa mga katanungang nagdudulot ng pagkalito sa mga mamamayan hango sa aral ng pandaigdigang kasaysayan.
Ang ating katipunan.
Makikinig sa inyong mga daing at kuro-kuro sa pagsusuri ng mga kasalukuyang suliranin ng ating bayan at ng buong mundo.
Ang ating katipunan.
Maglalatag ng kalutasan ng mga sanhi ng paghihirap ng kalagayan at kabuhayan ng sambayanan.
Ang ating katipunan.
Ihahatid sa inyo ni Itos Valdes ng Philippine LaRouche Society, Save the Nation Movement, Solidarity for Sovereignty Movement, Renaissance Philippines, at Partido Politikal ng Katipunan ng Demokratikong Pilipino, kasama si Cathy Cruz.
Magandang gabi Pilipinas, magandang gabi Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao. At syempre sa lahat ng ating mga kababayan sa iba't ibang panig ng bansa. Magandang gabi po at welcome po sa palatuntunan ng ating katipunan. Ito po ang inyong lingkod, Cathy Cruz. Syempre kasama pa rin ang tunay na bida ng palatuntunan ito. Walang iba kundi si Itos Valdes. Magandang gabi sa iyo, Itos.
Good evening, Cathy, again sa mga tagapakinig at tagapanood ng ating live stream dito sa ating katipunan at kasama natin yung mga may giting na tao dyan sa radio for which we are simulcast over. Good evening po sa lahat ng sumama sa amin tonight.
Okay, at syempre, isa na namang 2 oras na palatuntunan po ang inyong matutunghayan ngayon. At ngayon po ay medyo may konti lang tayong technical issue, no? Pero aayusin natin yan later on. But syempre, sa lahat po ng mga nakikinig po sa atin sa pamamagitan ng RMN DZXL 558 kHz, no? AM band. At syempre, kasalukuyan din po kayong nanonood sa pamamagitan ng ating mga social media accounts sa ating pong FB page at YouTube account ng Partido KDP. Yan. At nako, marami na naman tayong mga balita ngayon na talaga naman medyo, umiinit ba mga ulo natin? Ayoko uminit kasi last Sunday uminit ang ulo natin pare-parehas eh. But alam mo, Sir Itos, isa sa mga tawag dito, mga headline ng ating mga pahayagan ngayon, no? Katulad dito sa Philippine Star, Taiwan assures Philippines of protection in case tensions with China worsen. Nako, yan. Isa yan sa topic na pwede natin pag-usapan later on. Pero ang isa sa nakikita ko rin, ito, yung headlines, government debt soars to record 13.8 trillion, no? Nilabas lang nitong May 9, no? 5 days ago ng Manila Times. Nako, ano kaya ito na, alam mo, pinag-uusapan niyang utang, naalala ko tuloy si Professor Butch, no? Yung tungkol dito sa ating utang panlabas. Nako, at maganda yan na maipaliwanag mo sa akin. At siguro ito, kasi ngayon nararamdaman ng taong bayan ang tuloy-tuloy na pagtaas ng halaga ng mga bilihin at bukod doon, yung pera natin parang wala nang halaga. Alam mo yon? Kaya medyo nakakalungkot isipin na habang busy ang lahat tungkol dito sa China, US, sa EDCA, eto tayo nagugutom ang taong bayan dahil nga yung pera natin mukhang baliwala na at yung ating mga bilihin ay patuloy na tumataas. Can you explain it to us, especially sa ating mga kababayan na nanonood ngayon sa atin dito?
Yes, thank you, Kath. Also, I wanted to add, no, sinasabi ng BSP na yung forecast po nila about inflation is it will accelerate slower. So that's good for us daw. Kumbaga, mas mabagal ang pagtaas ng mga bilihin. yan ang forecast daw nila. Tapos dapat mas maganda na daw yon. So these are all forecasts, no? Ibig sabihin they make certain assumptions, tapos they will make an educated guess on where it will land. Now, hindi natin alam kung tama sila, mali sila o wala. Ang alam lang ng taong bayan, mas mahal ang bilihin, mas mahal ang kuryente, mas mahal ang magbayad ng tubig, mas mahal ang gasolina. And this affects their lives. Kasi kung empleyado ka, hindi naman tumataas yung sweldo mo, sabay ng inflation, yung gastos mo. And when these things rise, kumbaga, tataas ang presyo ng gasolina, tataas ang presyo ng tubig, paggamit ng tubig at lahat. Naapekto rin yung pagtaas ng ang ating gamot. At it mas mahal maggamot, lalo na sa mga may sakit, lalo na sa mga matatanda na maintenance medicines, and for newborn, yung mothers and newborn. So this directly affects our lives. Hindi to parang usapin lang ng mga dalubhasa dyan sa finance and economics and bankers. In fact, it is the people most directly affected by the price rise. Hindi po yung mga mayayaman, siyempre yung mga mahihirap. Siyempre yung majority ng mga tataong bayan, yan ang naapekto right away. So nararamdaman po nila. And tila hindi tumitigil ang pagtaas. Now, ang reasons na bigayin po nila sa mga pagtaas ay iba-iba, no? Kakalabas lang daw tayo sa isang pandemya o lockdown. So yung economy is still recovering, the production of goods sa mundo, the supply chains, they are still moving slower than expected. Tapos sabi nila yung gera daw sa Ukraine and Russia, apekto rin daw. Iba't ibang plus yung iba pa sabi nila dahil sa climate change. Kaya tumataas yung mga bilihin, kaya yung inflation daw mas malakas ang tama sa tao. Now, ang gusto ko lang i-explain po that inflation and the price rise, although it seems accelerated now, has been going on for the last 15 years. Okay, it has nothing to do with global events. It has everything to do with our policy as a nation. The best, sabi nga ika nga nila, the best defense against inflation is increasing production. Okay, so in terms of the agriculture, pwede pong mag-increase ng production instead of importing. Because ang inflation po na naapekto lahat, Pag naapekto ang gasolina, pag naapekto ang supply chain, yung mga cargo ship, lahat ng importation po tataas. Lahat ng imported products tataas. So in terms of agricultural products, we can start to increase production. It's an easy solution. It's been done before, and we can do it. All it takes is political will and sound management to keep it going for the next decade or so. Okay, and that ensures ang pinaka-importante diyan, ang taong bayan hindi magutom, at yung mga may sakit at yung mga yung matanda at yung newborns, that segment of society, yung mortality rate natin hindi tumaas. So that's what our present leadership should be guarding again. Itong mga forecast ng IMF or yung Bangko Sentral and the others, it's just a forecast. And it has everything to do with borrowing money and the performance of what they call indicators of the economy, which only concerns people who are concerned about exchange rate, borrowing money, and so it has nothing actually already to do with the real physical economy. It affects it, but it can be solved through the physical economy, not through what they call monetary and fiscal tools that they use. So medyo ano kasi kailangan po natin i-review po. Gusto ko sanang i-review kung ano ba ang definition, for example, ng economics. Ano ba yung true definition ng economics? Ang ekonomiya po, ano ba yung mga, what is included in an economy? What is included when you say the Philippine economy? Ano ba? Numero lang ba yan? O tao? Is the Philippine economy separated from the people? Diba? Hindi, obviously. Because the people make an economy. Kung mag-isip po tayo, you will excuse me, mag-aano muna ako ng konting lesson. No? Pag isang tao to survive, ano bang kailangan niya? Kailangan niya ng pagkain, kailangan niya ng medicine, kailangan niya ng electricity, kailangan niya ng tubig at lahat. Okay. Yung mga yon pwedeng i-produce, pwedeng gawin, pwedeng itayo, pwedeng build. We can build energy systems, we can plant food, we can build our water systems for survival, we can build hospitals, we can compound medicines ourselves, right? So all of that is kasama po sa tinatawag natin physical economy. Okay. Ang pera po, gawa ng gobyerno, ng isang sovereign state, tulad ng Pilipinas. Gagawa siya ng pera upang mabilis ang pangalakal, exchange of goods and services. Now, the economy is not, hindi po pera. Ang economy, an economy is the physical goods and services it can produce. Ang pera, ang halaga ng pera ay depende lang sa isang kung ano ang pwede mong bilhin sa peso. Ngayon, kung mas lumiliit ang halaga ng piso, mas konti ang pwede mong bilhin, ibig sabihin, yung ekonomiya mo ay humihina. Ibig sabihin, yung peso mo dati, kung makakabili ka ng isang dangkal ng rice or kanin, no? Ngayon, kalahati na lang yan. Ibig sabihin, yung ekonomiya mo is producing less rice or exporting it, whatever policy they choose, because your peso is not buying as much. So by that thinking po, your money is only as strong as what it can buy with it. Yung pera po hindi commodity. Hindi tulad ng mga forex traders na ginagawang produkto ang pera. So bibili siya ng $1, 55 pesos to $1, bibili siya ng dollar, tapos ibebenta rin niya yung dollar na yun. Kung bumagsak o tumaas yung dollar, ibebenta na yun. Hindi po mahalaga ang pera. Ang mahalaga kung anong nabibili ng perang yon sa isang ekonomiya. So mas mahalaga in any economy is how much we can produce as a nation. For example, how much steel can we produce per capita? How much rice can we produce per capita? How much energy can we produce per capita? Kumbaga, magbilang tayo, ano bang populasyon ng Pilipinas ngayon? 100 million. Sabihin na lang 100 million. Ano ba ang kailangan ng bawat isang Pilipino? Ilang kilowatt ang kailangan ng bawat isang Pilipino sa buong buhay niya upang not just survive but thrive, mag-develop, magandang trabaho. Ano bang ilan kilowatt yon? Okay, so and then titignan natin, for example, ilan ba yung mapuproduce natin kilowatt ngayon per head? Okay, magkano ang per kilowatt per head ngayon? Okay? Dahil nag-deregulate tayo, tumataas ang gastos para sa isang tao, ang kinakailangan ng isang tao. So, inflation has everything to do with prices of goods. It only measures the rising cost prices of goods and services and everything. So to combat that, you can produce more electricity, you can produce more steel, you can produce more agricultural products. That's the only way to really fight inflation. And if you produce more, kumbaga, kaya naman natin mag-produce ng mas marami pang bigas, mas marami pang pigs, mga baboy, mga manok, mga isda, hito, tilapia, bangus, gano'n. Pwede naman natin i-increase yan kung yun ang direksyon ng gobyerno natin. Kaya natin gawin. Hindi naman mahirap yun. Lahat ng teknolohiya available naman sa atin. Diba? So, if we do that, if we keep it that, it solves many issues. Number one, it provides a shield against any world event or shock event outside the Philippines because we can produce our own and feed our own people. Number two, hindi tataas ang bilihin kasi sobrang daming produkto. Right? We can produce more fish but tataas ang presyo. Siyempre, kung yung mga gahaman na trader dyan at yung mga siyempre, ibang usapan yun. But kung sa usapang ekonomiya lang, if we produce more rice, there's no reason why rice should go up. If we produce more chicken, pork, beef, vegetables, fish, if we produce more and we can do it with technologies, ancient technologies yan, we can just apply it. Diba? Hindi naman sekreto yung mga yan eh. We can do it lang, but the policy is not to do it. Why? Because the policy is to import. Now, with importation, you are exposing yourself and your country and your countrymen to whatever happens outside the Philippines, tataas yung presyo. siyempre magtataas yung presyo ng mga bilihin dahil kunwari may nangyari sa Taiwan. Kunwari may nangyari sa Taiwan. O sasabihin lang naman nila, nako, tataasan naman lahat ng bilihin kasi hindi makadaan yung mga imports natin. Ano ba yung solusyon? Di ba napaka-obvious? So what you have to realize is you have to separate currency, ang sinasabi ng yung value ng peso to the dollar. Wag na nating intindihin yun. That's only a concern with importation and okay? Ang concern natin is not the currency. Ang concern natin is, are we producing enough to feed our people? Are we giving them electricity, energy, and at the right price? And if we're not giving it at the right price and at the affordable price para sa mga kababayan natin, edi ayusin natin yan. Invoke Article 12. Diba? Kaya naman ng presidente yan eh. Nasa constitution natin yan eh. I-invoke niya yung Article 12. Sabihin niya, because it is an emergency situation, he can declare it as an emergency situation. The unmitigated rise in prices is a national security concern. And therefore, establishing that, therefore it endangers the lives of our citizens. Now the government has to take action with regard to the prices of electricity, basic goods and services to save our lives. At least for the next 6 years, 7 years. Di ba? Yan ang obvious na solusyon na pwede namang gawin. Di ba? So, lahat ng, itong mga rise in prices, pwedeng solusyonan yan ng madalian. Not a big problem. Now, it's only a choice of gusto niyo bang ayusin o hindi?
Yun ang tanong. Yun ang malaking tanong.
Right.
Yun ang malaking tanong dyan, Itos, kung gusto ba nila talagang ayusin o hindi. Kasi may paraan, may solusyon.
Okay.
Diba?
So hindi naman mahirap intindihan ng tao yung parang diferensya ng, kunyari, ba't tumataas yung presyo ng bilihin? E di gumawa pa tayo ng mga di ba, hakbang para mag-produce ng mas maraming bigas, mag-produce ng mas maraming pagkain. Ibaba natin yung presyo ng kuryente. Diba? At yung gasolina, pwede namang gawin ng presidente yan eh. At sasabihin nila sa mga, pag binaba mo yung, for example, pag binaba mo yung presyo ng kuryente, hindi ba mas masaya? Magiging mas masaya rin yung mga negosyo, mga negosyante, mga corporation, dahil mababa ang cost nila. Pag ibabaan mo yung cost nila, mas mababa yung benta nila. So it is a domino effect, but it has to be done quickly. These things, this rise in inflation, parang sinasabi ng iba na hindi, temporary lang yan, bababa at bababa yan. Paano bababa? Wala naman tayong ginagawa. Naghihintay lang tayo. Parang nakaupo ka lang, naghihintay ka, mahulog yung mangga. Yun lang ginagawa. Pero hindi mo sinisikap na kunin yung mangga. Ito yung nangyayari sa atin. Tapos sasabihin lang natin, bababa naman to eh. Hayaan muna natin. Diba? Yan ang mga abiso sa presidente natin. Mga taong tulad ni Ben Diokno at yung mga iba pang eksperto sa ekonomiya na puro mga may hawak na mga degree, na puro papel ang hawak nila, mga titulo sila, gano'n. Tapos mataas ang bayad sa kanila. Yan ang mga abiso sa presidente. Bakit? Hindi naman kasi taong bayan ng boss nila eh. Boss nila mga bankero at yung mga financial institutions. At yung mga yon walang pakialam sa buhay ng Pilipinas, walang pakialam sa buhay ng Pilipino. Ang pakialam lang nila is paano kumita. Okay? Tas gagamit sila ng mga politiko, gagamit sila ng mga senador, mga kongresista para isulong ang gusto nila para lalo silang kumita. Wala silang pakialam sa buhay ng Pilipino. Okay, dapat ang presidente lang may pakialam sa buhay ng Pilipino. At kung may pakialam siya sa buhay ng Pilipino, ito ang dapat niyang gawin. First, stop listening to the same old people. And put your neck on the line to save your people. Diba? Kasi susuportahan ka naman ng taong bayan pag ginawa mo yan, Mr. President. Susuportahan ka talaga. Yung mga nakapalibot sa iyo, yan ang walang pakialam sa taong bayan. Ang pakialam lang nila yung trabaho nila at yung political career nila at kung paano kumita. Ikaw as president, assuming 31 million votes nga ang nakuha mo, napakalaking voting base. Their thoughts and prayers are with you. Their hopes are with you. Do your job. You were 31 million, the 100 million lives are in your hands. Do your job for the Filipino people. And I know, alam ko po, naintindihan ng presidente to. Kahit nakakaramdam siya ng iba't ibang humihila sa kanya in different directions. But I know he knows this. And I know he knows what his father did. And I know he knows what must be done. So I am just appealing na naman, like my father before me, Mr. President, gawin niyo po to para sa taong bayan. Please lang, you have 5 years left. It's 1 year into your presidency. And still the people do not feel that there is change coming. Ilan po, Kat? Cathy yata, sorry to interrupt, but wala kang audio, hindi ka po naririnig for some reason. So hindi ko alam paano ayusin yan. Nawawala. Wala yung audio. Yan.
Yun. Okay. Gusto ko lang batiin yung ating mga kasama ngayon sa Zoom, si Johnny Ventosa at saka si Carlo Iway, no? At bago ko ibigay yung katanungan ni Carlo Iway para kay Itos, ay gusto ko lang batiin yung ating mga kababayan na nanonood dyan mula sa Quezon City, of course, si Edna Ranigo Tacadena. Happy Mother's Day nga pala sa lahat ng mga nanay sa buong mundo. Naalala ko bigla. At okay, Carlo, nasan ka na? Carlo, nawala si Carlo. Ayun, paki-unmute na lang siya.
Paano ko nagkaitos, no? Yung mga pangyayari ba ngayon sa Pilipinas, sa bakunahan, sa lockdowns, posible bang makapatay ka ng tao ito?
Anong kamo?
Ano, Carlo? Sorry pa ulit.
Posible, yung mga pangyayari ba sa bakuna at lockdowns, pwede ba talaga makapatay ito ng tao? At yung ekonomiya natin.
Yeah, siyempre yung if you're regarding the lockdowns imposed on countries, talagang intentionally pinatay yung ekonomiya ng buong mundo. Nothing. So by saying that there is for example a virus, and because of this pandemic, ila-lockdown yung Ekonomiya, nothing moves. No shipment of goods and services, no tourism, no restaurants, no production of anything. Tapos dito lang tayo sa bahay. Siyempre nakakapatay ng ekonomiya. Now when you do that, you also kill those who are in need of jobs and those who are in need of livelihood. Di naman lahat ng tao may pera sa bangko, eh. 'Di ba? Yung presyo ba kasi isipin mo nawala ka ng trabaho dahil sa lockdown. Pero yung pagbabayad mo ng ay pagkain, tsaka kuryente, tsaka tubig, di naman bumaba. 'Di ba? Lalo nga tumaas kasi nasa work from home pa kayo. So yung gastos niyan, nakakapatay. Because now, you have to eat less. You cannot spend for yung maintenance medicines ka po. You have to spend less on your medicine. You have to take less medicine. So those policies have a direct effect on the lives of people. And many po, kung naalala po natin, you go back in time, 2020, marami pong namatay. Hindi dahil sa sakit, but dahil sa lockdown. Dahil walang trabaho, hindi makapunta sa ospital because may sakit. Okay? Na hindi necessarily dahil sa sinasabi nilang virus. Pero marami pong namatay dahil doon. So it directly affects the lives of Filipinos and nakakapatay. So those policies, it's the same policy as kunyari sabihin ng gobyerno. Ang policy natin hindi production but importation. Now, lahat ng farmers, lahat ng producers, lahat ng traders, suddenly walang trabaho, walang income. Paano nila alagaan yung may sakit? Paano nila maalagaan yung mga anak nila? Nakakapatay yung mga policies na ganyan. Kaya dati pa si chairman, yung patay ko, si chairman Butch Valdes, dati pa niya sinasabi, just because you sign something into law, hindi ibig sabihin wala kang kasalanan sa pagpatay ng mga tao. Kasi anything you sign as law directly affects the people. Okay? So if you sign something, for example, that takes away, you take away production, you lose jobs. When you lose jobs, the families get affected. And when the families get affected, hindi na makapunta sa private school yung anak mo, goes to public school. Yung asawa mo has to get another job. Minsan, nag-OFW ka na lang. And if you do it, tapos 60 years old ka na, saan ka makakahanap ng trabaho? So anytime you sign something into law, anytime you approve a bill in Congress or in Senate, it directly affects lives of Filipinos. Just like this controversial bill, Senate Bill 1865, I think. This one they're trying to push, which they call medical martial law, na gusto yata i-railroad ng Senado ngayon. Delikado po yan. No public hearings, walang news about it. Parang tahimik lang sila, tinutulak nila para maipasa. Delikado po ito. Not just our lives will be affected, but generations moving forward. It is giving up our sovereignty. It is allowing an organization to dictate what our health policy should be and made into law. That is very dangerous. Now, hindi ko alam kung na-realize to ng mga senador o kung mga kongresista, pero parang hindi eh. Kasi walang opposition eh. Wala man lang public hearings. Bakit ganon? It is scary. Di ba? And then it will affect the lives of 100 million Filipinos. Yun lang, Carlo. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Carlo. May follow-up ka ba? O sige, go ahead, Carlo. Paki-unmute na lang.
Oo, may follow-up lang ako. No, before ako sa follow-up, nandiyan pala si Sally Kite at namang itatanong ko lang, isa para kay Itos at isa para kay Miss Sally. For you, Sir Itos, ang posible bang mangyari dito is dapat talaga mabantayan natin at malaman natin ang buong kontento ng bill na to. And for you, Ms. Sally Change, what are the latest now on the access test? That's in the data that you have now.
Hindi mo masyadong naiintindihan.
Ganito. Ms. Sally Change, what is the latest on the data that you have now regarding excess deaths? Nandito si Ms. Super Sally.
Carlo, sige, maybe we can have Sally comment later on something, no? Pero ano yung question mo para sa akin?
Yung dapat ba talagang alamin din natin yung content ng SB 1869?
Of course. Hindi naman tinatanong yung tama yon. You should know the content of the bill, right? Delikado po yan. And then yung CDCPH nga, sila they have been fighting this and informing the public. So I would recommend that the public go to CDCPH. Kung hindi pa sila na-ban ulit sa Facebook, medyo na sila, Lifetime Achievement Award na si CDCPH kasi binaban parati sila because they are putting out the truth. So I congratulate CDCPH. I think Johnny Ventosa has a question also.
Yes. Go ahead, Johnny. Go ahead, Johnny. Yan.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Cathy, happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Anyway, this Bill 1869 is really unconstitutional. If there is an item that's unconstitutional, the whole bill is unconstitutional. My question is if it passes through, because I really don't trust the Senate anymore. If it really passes through, can we not stand up and say, no, we don't agree to what you're demanding? If they ever come to our doorstep to have us quarantined or whatever, we can really stand there and say no. I mean, it's not the law. My point is, who's going to protect us? We can. I know we can do that, and we can say no, it's not the law. But who will protect us? Because I mean, these people are. I mean, you know, they just insist on doing what they want to do. Period. And anyway, what exactly can we do? I mean, do you have any idea?
Yes, in terms of the, I would suggest that definitely this bill has to be opposed and opposed vigorously from all sectors, or at least all independent sectors who are not part of the corporate propaganda empire, right? Yung mga mainstream media dyan na hindi naman lumalaban, hindi naman nagko-komento about this because malaking advertiser sa kanila yung mga pharma, right? So, but in terms of our redress, in terms of our ways of combating this, definitely you can go to the Supreme Court, file a case against this bill, but that's already after it is enacted, right? I think there's another process because they're still going to be discussing the implementing rules and regulations and those things. So there's still a process after this, but definitely we have to hold the line against it being passed in the first place. Now, I don't know how much the president is pushing this, if ever. And I don't know what is exactly behind this, but definitely I think there's going to be another gathering tomorrow at the Senate grounds by patriots who are against this bill. So we support that. We support them in this fight. But the information has to be spread. Look, tayo dito lang tayo sa ating katipunan. Hindi po natin alam kung ilan ba yung ratings natin at ilan nakikinig sa atin. But in terms of mass following, definitely talo po tayo sa mga mainstream media at saka yung mga news na hindi naman nila binabanggit ito. Okay. So we are on the definitely a uphill battle regards to this, but still the ideas that you put forth and the fight that you put forth has to be there. I mean, ito po yung ginagawa natin ngayon. So I don't know in terms of if that's what you're looking for, what to do. But in terms of legal, we can fight it legally. Otherwise, it's just awareness and education as much as we can, and through our channels as hard as we can. Otherwise, it's not. You have to have a senator. I think the CDCPH has also been able to get audiences with different senators and met with them. So that's their way of fighting. Otherwise, this is what we have to do. You can file a case in the Supreme Court. It'll take years. I don't know if it's going to be implemented and things like that. But that's where I see it going if they insist on passing this. Definitely, hindi tayo magko-comply sa kalokohan ng ito if ever na-pass po nila. Because this is already, you're correct, it's unconstitutional. But also, so was EDCA. EDCA was unconstitutional, but the Supreme Court ratified it as constitutional. So, tell me now, ano pang redress ng taong bayan? Kung ganun na nga, pati yung mga korte, yan ang bibigyan ng importansya yung mga things that are unconstitutional. Because technically, may wording po dyan sa each of the bill and may wording po na goes around. Before they craft the bill, lahat ng lawyers look it over and say you cannot declare it unconstitutional. You can say that it's still constitutional, the wording in the bill. But what the Supreme Court will not, or the judges, in my experience, they will not really read between the lines. They will just look at what is there. So kaya nakakalusot kasi yung mga magagaling na lawyers po ini-employ nila para it break any constitution. And maybe even those bills are written with our constitution in mind. So yun lang po. Pero definitely this is an overreach by it is the Philippines becomes subservient to the WHO with this bill passing. So it becomes what do you call that? A supranational organization. So the president cannot fight it kasi law. Kumbaga niluluto tayo sa sariling mantika with this law. So it becomes even illegal for us to fight it. That's what they're trying to do. Mga loko-loko po yung kalaban natin eh. So this is what they try to do. Yun lang po.
Ayun. Thank you, Sir Johnny. May sunod ka pa bang katanungan? Nakataas pa yung kamay. Teka. Go ahead. Oh, wait. Ayan. Go ahead, Sir Johnny. Wala ang audio mo? Yan. Yan. Okay na po.
No, after hearing Escudero, I think that bill is going to be passed. I mean, it was his interview with Karen, that woman. I mean, it was obvious that it was going to be passed. I mean, I don't know. I'm really worried. My second worry is, will Billy the Kid approve it? So I'm almost sure he will. Anyway, I mean, it's really, we're really in a bind. The people have nothing to say anymore in this country. I mean, these are the people who are just doing their thing. I mean, they don't give a damn. I mean, so sometimes I figure out, what can we do? Anyway, there was something you said yesterday at the crossfire, that here we are talking about the economy, here we are talking about the BRICS and all that, and it just struck me last night that you were so right. The newspapers don't mention the word BRIC. It's a world. It's happening around the world. I mean, it's big news that 51 countries are already easing out from the dollar. And here in this country, the newspapers don't mention it, and neither does the president, of course. So, I mean, that struck me. That really made me realize how dense the people in this country are.
Thank you, Sir Johnny. Sir Itos?
Yes. I feel the frustration growing, no? And Johnny has always been on point when it comes to these things. It's very frustrating for all of us na parang wala tayong magagawa. Even our institutions seem to be following the same line, following this whole and it's really an existential crisis for the Philippines as a nation. Just like many nations are facing existential crises now. But however, as you can see, if you go around the net, not through mainstream media, makikita mo yung mga ibang bansa, tuloy pa rin ang mga protesta nila sa kanilang gobyerno. France, there's Netherlands, and these are not third world nations. These are first world nations trying to change their government, because ito nga, yung gustong gawin nila sa atin ng WHO is the same as what they're trying to do with other nations. And the citizens are fighting back against their own government. Now, when will that happen here? Well, let's hope it can't come soon enough, I think, because we have to take back our country, not just for this bill, but for many other things. Magkasama po yan lahat. And it needs dedicated patriots, and it needs new leadership. The country will have to look for new leadership soon. That's how I see it. Kasi wala na pong ibang liderato. Parang bangkarote na sila sa mga ideas nila of how to save this nation. Yun lang.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Itos. At isa pa sa nakakapagpaalala rin, no? Bukod dun sa EDCA, bukod dito sa mga vaccines na to at issue ng SB 1869, meron din tayong pagdating sa utang panlabas at panloob dito. So, maganda siguro mapaliwanag natin to dahil nito lang na May 9, no, ay may inilabas nga itong Bureau of Treasury, no, tungkol dito sa utang panlabas natin at panloob natin, at sinasabi dito na 13.86 trillion nitong March ang talagang inilaki, no, ng utang natin. So naalala ko kasi si Kabuch noon, si Professor Butch, na meron tayong utang panlabas na talagang binabatikos ng Save the Nation at mismo ni Chairman sa pagbabayad natin ito. Sabi nga niya, immoral na pagbabayad ng utang panlabas natin dahil kung tutuusin, matagal na nating nabayaran to, but up to now, hanggang sa kasalukuyan at hanggang sa susunod pa mga saling lahi natin, ay babayaran pa rin natin to. Pero eto pa, can you explain us etong binabanggit ng Bureau of the Treasury, Itos?
Well, I'm not an economic expert like my father, no. So, but definitely the debt that we have been discussing, you have to separate kung ano talaga inutang natin at yung interest na binabayaran natin at yung dahil sa currency exchange. Ibang kaiba yun kasi yung ibang debt, kung hihiram talaga tayo at dumating sa bansa natin, ilan ba talaga yon? Or tapos i-separate natin yung previous na utang natin na may interest, tapos yung dahil bumagsak yung peso kontra dollar, tumaas yung utang. Those are two different things. Debt, yung debt po hindi ibig sabihin kung may utang ka, masama na. Ang masama, yung hindi mo nahiram. Hindi mo nahiram, tapos may utang ka. This is a result, again, of the floating exchange rate system. Ito po ang resulta ng ganyan sistema. And that's how they keep the country in debt. Kasi ang kumikita lang dyan sa ganyan is yung mga bankero at yung mga na kumikita pag magbabayad tayo ng debt. Alam mo ba yung Philippine bonds doon sa Wall Street, sa merkado ng Wall Street, parang stock market dito. It will be trading according to what the market or what the traders think that the Philippines can pay. Kumbaga, kung feeling nila kaya nila magbenta, magbayad ng utang, edi bibili sila ng Philippine bonds. Ibig sabihin, tumataas ang value natin kasi pwede kami magbayad. Pwede tayo magbayad ng utang. Pag medyo hindi pwede magbayad ng utang, pero feeling ng mga trader, feeling ng mga stock market traders na hindi tayo pwede magbayad ng utang, babagsak at babagsak yung value. Ngayon, ang nakakatulong dyan sa pagtaas ng value at yung value ng Philippine bonds ay pag ang presidente at yung mga kabinete niya sasabihin sa mundo na hindi, magbabayad tayo ng utang. Kayang-kaya natin bayaran yung utang natin. So again, perception, papakita ng maganda sa mundo na kaya natin bayaran. In the meantime also, we have an external debt of this much. Okay. Tapos, nakakatuwa, maglalabas ng tinatawag nilang Maharlika Fund. Nakukuha tayo ng pera pa dyan sa mga GOCCs at yung mga ibang ahensya ng gobyerno, ilalagay dito sa isang fund, isang parang account. Tapos, magpapasok tayo sa stock market. Tapos magbebenta-benta tayo dyan sa stock market. Right? So lalaro tayo. Yung pera ng Pilipino, pera ng gobyerno, ilalaro pa natin sa mismong stock market kung saan bumabagsak at bumabagsak na yung buong sistema ng financial and monetary nila, ng dollar system. Doon pa tayo lalaro. Ibig sabihin, yung sa akin, hindi sila interesado sa kung kikita tayo. Ang interesado sa kanila is parang tilang kinukuha nila yung pera natin sa Philippines para ilagay sa mga kumpanya nila abroad. That's how it is. It's like a funnel. Gagawa tayo ng funnel sa Pilipinas para ihigop lahat ng higupin lahat ng pera at lahat ng kayaman ng Pilipinas talagang tapos ibibigay doon sa stock companies nila na namili sila. Sino ba magre-report sa atin kung nanalo o natalo diyan yung Maharlika Fund? Sino ba? Sino ba yung independent auditor niyan? Di ba? Ang gobyerno ba parating nagsasabi ng totoo? Niniwala ba kayo sa pag nagsabi ng gobyerno? Yung gobyerno cares for us. The government really tells us the truth. Hindi ba? Pag nagkamali ba ang isang government official dyan sa Senado, dyan sa Kongreso, o sa Kabinete, aamin ba sila? O tatago? Pag nawala tulad ng dati yung SSS tapos yung mga investment nila sa housing bubble doon sa US in 2008. Sinasabi ba nila totoo kung ilan natalo nila? Ilang yung sugal nila na natalo? Sinasabi ba nila kung magkano ang natalo? Wala naman eh. Siyempre tatago nila yan. So that's how it's going to work. That's how this is going to turn out. It's a scheme. It's a scheme to make money. It's a scheme to loot everyone, to loot the Philippines even more. And the sad part is, it seems that this is being supported 100% by our leaders, all of them. No one is providing opposition. No one is questioning it properly and technically. None, zero. So, yung sinasabi mong debt cat and all of that just shows how these bankers and these international financial institutions will say, ang dami mo ng utang. Hindi ka makabayad this year. Di akin na lang tong lupang to. Akin na lang tong... Parang po yung ginawa ng mga Pfizer dati sa India. Hindi makabayad yung isang akin na lang tong lugar. Hindi po natin alam anong usap-usapan nila kasi obviously may nangyayari. Maririnig na lang ng taong bayan na ito na yung news, ito na lalabas. Ito na yung nangyari, sorry na lang. Pero yung discussion leading up to that, wala. Wala ka maririnig sa mainstream media. Zero marinig. Wala sa kanilang wala sa kanilang lahat ng mainstream media. Pati na dito sa radyo, wala silang dinidiscuss na ganyan. Wala silang minimension na BRICS. Wala silang minimension na even the reports of what is happening, yung excess deaths. Diba? In recent times, na tuloy-tuloy ang nangyayari of medical conditions of everybody. Wala po silang nire-report. Zero. Kasi pag nire-report mo, magagalit yung Facebook, ibaban ka. Diba? Tawag dyan Ministry of Truth, diba? Yung nobela ni George Orwell na tinatawag na 1984, sabi niya, yung ini-imagine niya sinulat niya in 1920s. Sabi niya, sa 1984, may fascista na gobyerno. So lahat ng tao sumusunod lang sa ginagawa nila. Isa lang ang pinapakinggan nila na source ng truth. Tapos, pag walang nagque-question sa gobyerno, tapos ang binibigay lang ng gobyerno, sports and entertainment sa kanila. Kinakalat nila sports and entertainment para malibang yung tao, para hindi na sila mag-question kung anong tama at mali. Tapos kung talagang masama, kung talagang interesado yung tao, bibigyan pa nila ng droga para hindi na makapag-isip yung tao. That is the novel 1984. Parang nangyayari ngayon na sa totoong buhay dito sa Pilipinas. Huwag na natin isipin yon. Dito na lang tayo sa entertainment. Panoorin na lang natin yung mga K-pop at lahat. Huwag na tayong mag-isip kung ano talaga ang dapat ayusin sa bansa. Huwag na natin i-question, mukhang mabait naman yung mga liderato natin eh. Tapos pag tumaas ang bilihin, ganyan talaga buhay. 'Di ba? Sa tao ang gawa, sa Diyos ang awa. 'Di ba? Yan ang mga sinasabi ng Pinoy, 'di ba? Pero dapat lumaban sila for the our sovereign nation. Hindi iiba yung buhay nila kung hindi sila lumaban. 'Di ba? Tayo naman, kahit tayo dito sa programang ito, pwede naman tayong mag-ano lang eh. Huwag na natin labanan yung mahirap, 'di ba? Huwag na tayo lumaban para sa Pilipino. Huwag na tayong mag-show na ganito. Dapat pag-usapan lang natin yung entertainment, 'di ba? Pag-usapan lang natin yung mga artista, hindi ba? Mas maganda pa, mas marami pa ratings natin. Kasi yung tao gusto lang mapasaya. 'Di ba? Yan ang sinasabi ng mga noontime hosts, 'di ba? Sabi nila, gusto lang namin magpasaya ng tao. 'Di ba? So pag ang tao masaya, namamatay ka na, at least tumatawa ka. 'Di ba? So yan ang nangyayari ngayon. Even people don't want the truth. People are not interested in the truth, sadly. Naririnig ko yung frustration na naman ng boses ng tatay ko when it comes to this. Tapos naalala ko yung sinasabi ni Rizal dati na naiinis siya sa mga kabataan. Asan na kayo? Ba't di kayo lumalaban? Para sa inang bayan. Ba't di kayo lumalaban? Yung lumalaban lang yung mga komunista eh. Na hindi naman nila alam kung anong pinaglalaban nila. Hindi ba? Yung mga kabataan na kinuha nila dahil tapos na-brainwash tapos biglang nagpro-protesta sila sa kalye. Yun lang naman yung nila eh. Pero yung totoong how a state should be run, how a government should be run, how a nation should be built, wala naman silang sagot dun. Wala. Protesta lang sila. Tapos yung mga yun lang naman ang alternatibo eh. 'Di ba? Kung di ka kapitalista, komunista ka. Yun lang naman yung tinuro sa atin, 'di ba? Which is wrong. You have to read more. You have to read Alexander Hamilton. Dito may natanggap tayong comment minsan. English kayo ng English. Sana magtagalog kayo para maintindihan namin. Anong klaseng komento 'yun? Subukan niyo pong intindihan yung sinasabi po namin. Because it's important. 'Di ba? At malalaman niyo at mahihiwalay niyo yung katotohanan sa fake news. Hindi ba po? Hindi ba? Alam po natin na ganyan. Mahirap talaga. Pero kailangan eh. Kundi, walang mangyayari sa Pilipinas eh. Wala na nga nangyayari ngayon eh. It's a process that they started after Ferdinand Marcos Sr. left the country. It's a process of taking over the whole Philippines. That's how we should look at it. All our industries were slowly destroyed through legislation and policy and sold off to the highest bidder. All our agriculture through policy was destroyed. Our capabilities as a nation were destroyed. Right? And we became glorified servants and workers through OFWs to serve the petrodollar economy. Yun ang nangyari. And until now, this is the mopping up. This is the last vestige. This is the last effort by these guys to take over the Philippines as a whole. We are not sovereign right now. And you need leadership to take back our country as it was intended to be. Hindi po tayo sovereign ngayon. Ngayon, ang choice po natin ang binibigay sa atin na choice. in our leaders, in everything. Tapos pag nagsalita kang totoo, mag-isa ka, they will ban you, ika-cancel ka nila. Di ba? Di ba? Tulad ng Facebook, tulad ng hindi tayo makapasok sa mainstream media kasi sarado. Ngayon yung social media, sinarado ulit nila. Saan tayo pupunta? Hindi ba? Ito po nangyayari. But you have to fight. You have to fight as a human being. You have to fight for the truth. You have to put yourself out there and say what you think. And this is our best way so far that we can do this. Given limited resources and limited audience, we have to be put out. Do it this way. So everything that we've discussed here, English, Tagalog, mas magaling po mag-Tagalog yung tatay ko. Pasensya na po kayo. Okay, pero natututo po tayo and we will try our best. Okay. It is intentional because the ancient enemy po ng mankind has always been against his development, against human development. Ancient enemy yun, ever since the start. So dalawa lang ang it's for humanity to live and be in the image and likeness of God, a creator, to continue that creative process in the universe and reach out and pursuit of happiness, and the other side which prevents that.
Correct.
Yun lang yung laban natin. And as human beings, you have a limited time dito sa mundo, di ba? You have limited time lang. So while you're here, gawa ka ng tama, di ba? Pwede ka naman maging mayaman, di ba? Pwede kang maging mayaman, pwede kang maging sobrang yaman. Bili ka ng 30 kotse. Pero mamamatay rin tayo lahat. Hindi mo naman madadala yan, di ba? Or you can dedicate your lives to helping humanity be human, be in the image and likeness of a creator. And that's what we hope we're trying to do with this. Thank you, Kat.
I agree sa'yo, Itos, no, na talagang importante alam natin, no, kung ano yung nangyayari sa loob at labas ng ating bansa at alam natin kung paano i-filter kung ano yung totoo, ano yung kasinungalingan. At kailangan panindigan natin. May lumabas nga dito kanina, no, at ang isa sa yung tinatanong nga na yung utang daw ba na panlabas, darating ba yung panahon na tayo na mismo, ang taong bayan na mismo ang ipambabayad o ang bansa natin ang ipambabayad ng mga leader natin sa mga dayuhan dahil napakalaki na lang utang darating na tayo sa punto na hindi na mababayaran yan.
I want to say na bakit hindi ba nangyayari yan ngayon na?
Nangyayari.
Because of yung OFWs natin. Saan ba natin, di ba, kumukuha tayo ng dolyar?
Correct.
O saan ginagamit yung dolyar? Hindi ba? So the remittance, all of those things, we are dependent on them to increase our dollar reserves so that improves our credit position in terms of our debt. So that's what's happening. Binibenta natin yung taong bayan. Dati pa natin ginagawa to. And it started during Marcos time, Senior. Diba? Tayo lang nga, sabi nga ni Butch, Chairman Butch, tayo lang ang bansa may agency na pagtatak ng trabaho sa labas. Oo. Manpower agency na may government agency to look for jobs for our Filipinos. Okay? Nagawa na natin. Hindi mo sabihin, binibenta na natin ng mga taong bayan. Our resources, our prime resources, our wealth, our brains, our wealth as a nation, binibenta na natin, binibigay. Okay? Nilalako na natin sa ibang bansa. Di bale nang hindi tayo tinatrato ng maayos, basta pumapasok ang dolyar. Hindi ba? Di ba?
Wala nga.
Yun ang nangyayari. Dati pang ginagawa nila yan. Dati pa. So, when they say, yung sobrang laki ng utang, baka tao na pinababayad. Dati pa pinapabayad yung tao. Dati pa. That's what's been happening. Okay? I have a comment here from Sally. Super Sally to everyone. Education system has also fallen so badly that the people are not well educated. Also dumbed down to social media and gadgets. Correct. Just like sabi nga 1984, si Super Sally, 1984 says that you cannot think anymore. You don't have to think. Government will think for you. You will just going to work to feed the government machine. Sabi nga sa WEF, sa World Economic Forum, si Klaus Schwab, sabi niya, you will not own anything and you will be happy. Right? You will be happy serving. You will be happy being part of the whole machine. You just serve the elite. And happy ka na doon. Why? We will provide you the entertainment. Bibigyan ka namin ng mga show. Bibigyan ko kayo ng mga tas you can watch on your phone. Tapos yung mga games, yung mga Mobile Legends, bibigay namin sa inyo yan para malibang kayo kasi wala kayong ginagawa. Right? So that's what they have been doing to us. Ito pa nangyayari. 'Di ba? Sa mga kabataan ngayon, ano bang pinatupag nila? Nag-aaral ba sila ng Rizal? Nag-uusap ba sila kung paanong ayusin yung bansa? Hindi, 'di ba? Anong ginatupag nila? TikTok? Oh, TikTok, tsaka Mobile Legends, yung laro, 'di ba? So they are being given what the Romans used to call bread and circuses. So hindi yung mga Romans at the time, yung Roma po, para sa ating mga tagapakinig nyo, yung Rome, yung ancient Rome, minsan kasi hindi yung pag masama ang patakbo ng gobyerno at that time, sabi ng Caesar, sabi ng emperor, sabi niya, masama, wala, bangkarote yung gobyerno, kailangan mag-invade, kailangan sumakop na naman tayo ng ibang bansa o ibang mga tao. Okay. Anong gagawin natin? Hindi, magtayo tayo ng laro. Magtayo tayo ng gladiator. Maglaban-laban tapos makakalimutan na ng mga tao yung mga problema nila. Kasi entertainment. So we give them bread and circuses. Okay, so para malibang sila, hindi nila iniisip yung paano ayusin yung bansa natin. Ano man nangyayari ngayon, 'di ba? Yun lang. Tapos you have mainstream media na puro propaganda lang ang nilalabas. Yan na yung news, kunwari. Tapos sasabihin mo matalino ka kasi nanonood ka ng news every night. Ang sasabihin ko sa'yo, bobo ka. Mas nabobobo ka pa. Diba? Mas nagiging bobo ka if you keep watching the same news every single night. Kasi wala ka matututunan dyan. Puro marites lang yan. Chismisan lang yan. Sabi ni ganyan, ganito. Sabi ni Senator ganyan, ganito. Sabi ni Justice Secretary, ganito. Tapos sabi ng isang kabila, ganyan. Yun lang yung news. Walang journalism, walang in-depth research, walang ganyan. Puro chismis. Puro mababaw. Wala kayong matutunan. Sabi nga ni Super Sally, bobo and scared. Tama. Sally, you're right.
Ginawa tayong duwag at tanga.
Yes, hindi lang, pero ganito lang guys ha. Hindi ang Pilipino lang, ang buong mundo ginawa nilang ganyan. Ang buong mundo. Through the education system, through the textbooks. Kaya ngayon, hindi maka-react, hindi maka-question ng maayos. Kahit kung may nangyaring ganyan. Sa Taiwan, itong sa EDCA, walang nakaka-question ng maayos. Diba? Itong recent lockdown, sino ba nagka-question lang? Konting-konting tao lang. But they're very passionate. And si Super Sally has been at the forefront of putting out all of this valuable information, right? So it is very alarming, not only dito sa Pilipinas but around the world, that these things are happening, right? So I'm not sure if Super Sally wants to say something, maybe just give an update, a safe update para hindi tayo maban dito sa Facebook. Alam niyo naman yung Facebook, they're very scared. So if Sally wants to say something, just to give an update, she's welcome to come on, and we can allow her. Just send us a message if you want to, Super Sally. But if not,
Okay.
okay, I will read your
I have unmuted myself, so
okay.
maybe we can just do some question and answer for what you'd like to know. In terms of the excess death data in the Philippines, we do not have data anymore. What happened at the beginning of 2022, beginning of last year, when we realized the excess deaths were so large, and we brought this to not just me, also some other people, some other journalists, brought this to the attention of the public. I don't have a video, it's only me. I don't have a presentation tonight. Maybe we can do that another time. So after we drew attention to the excess death data, after that, the data stopped being published regularly. So we drew attention to the excess death data, which was up to September. That was in early 2022. After we drew attention to that, the data plummeted. So the excess deaths came down very rapidly, which didn't make sense, considering that the deaths had risen very fast and very rapidly with the vaccine rollout. And by September, we were about 2.2 times higher deaths than normal for the whole of the Philippines. At that time, the vaccination rate in the population was only about 30% of the population had received vaccines. But by October, the death rate apparently went down. But the vaccine rates up till the end of the year went up to about 50%, the end of 2021. So it doesn't make sense that the deaths went down. We don't know what happened to the data. So eventually the Philippine Statistics Authority, they published 2021 data up to 31st of March, 2022. And they didn't update their death data anymore after that time, which is not the normal procedure. The normal procedure is that they would finish the year and then they would take 12 months to collate any late registration. But for 2021, they stopped their collation of late registrations in March when it wouldn't have been complete. And that is the data that they then published in February this year as the final 2021 data. So it doesn't look to be complete, and it shouldn't be complete. That's not their normal procedure. 2022 data is also still incomplete, even though we're now in May. As of last April, 12th of April, they published 2022 data as of the 31st of January, which was only from January to November. And it was incomplete, even for that data. So very little data has been published this year for 2022. And we have no data yet for 2023. So the Philippine Statistics Authority said they publish regular monthly reports. We have not had a regular monthly report this year for 2023. So that's the situation. We don't have the data to understand what's happening in the Philippines. So yeah, that's it. If you want to comment and ask questions, please do so.
All right. Thank you, Super Sally, for that report. That's very eye-opening, no? I'm not sure why they stopped collecting data, or they chose not to post it. That leads us to suspect many things, right? But thank you for the report. You can catch Sally. Where can they read your work?
They can go Super Sally Substack. They can find me on Substack. I have lots of regular updates. I usually post nearly every day, not every day. Mostly publishing Philippine news related to COVID, related to population. I also publish some Australian data and sometimes some international other country data if it's interesting.
Okay, so they can just go to Substack and then type in Super Sally, right?
Yes. So my Substack is Super Sally. Hang on, I'm just opening it so I can tell you exactly what it is.
Okay.
There we go. I've got several screens open. So it's Super Sally, all lowercase .substack.com.
Okay.
Yeah. So please come over. Everyone is welcome. Free subscription.
Okay, thank you very much, Sally, for your enlightening information, and hopefully you can join us regularly also to give us updates on this. Mga katipunan, si Super Sally po ang isa sa pinaka magiting na lumalaban dito against itong mga misinformation and fake news. Masyado siyang dahil sa pagmamahal niya sa Pilipino and sa humanity, kasi po Australian po si Super Sally pero dito na siya nakatira sa Pilipinas, pero marami po siyang research. She's done a lot of research and she's put out ever since the start of this lockdown. So iabangan niyo po siya if you can read her work. Mas detalye pa sa yung trabaho niya kaysa sa gobyerno. So thank you for Super Sally for running. And if there
You're welcome.
If there are other questions for her, of course we can address it to her.
Please ask. One of the things I'd just like to remind, we must be very careful not to forget what has happened, not what has been done over the past 3 years. And we also must not forget what things were like before this. This is not what we're seeing is not normal. It's not normal to see young people dying. It's not normal to see heart attacks and strokes and sudden cancers. These are all not normal. So do not forget what normal is. And let's record. We have to record what happened and keep recording.
Correct. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And keep fighting. Keep it up.
We are world citizens. We are fighting. We fight where we stand.
Correct.
We fight where we stand, and we fight with respect and love and resolve. We have to be strong, but we fight fairly, but we fight very hard.
Correct. Yes, correct. Not like our enemies. They don't fight fairly.
Thank you, Super Sally. And of course, thank you, Itos. Actually, it's already 8:23 na po ng gabi at kayo po ay nakikinig pa rin sa impila ng RMN DZXL 558 kHz AM band. At sabayan niyo po kami nga papanood sa pamamagitan po ng social media accounts ng ating ng Katipunan ng Demokratikong Pilipino o Partido KDP. And of course, nandito pa rin, kasama pa rin natin ang tunay na bida ng palatuntunan ito, si Itos Valdes, ang inyo pong lingkod. Kasama pa rin ang iba nating mga kaibigan at masugid na taga-subaybay at sumusuporta sa KDP, si Giancarlo EY, si Johnny Ventosa, of course, Super Sally is in Zoom, and of course, Rene. Yan, may bago tayo nakasama dito. At sa lahat ng ating mga taga-subaybay sa loob at labas ng ating bansa, maraming salamat po. Sa lahat po ng mga nag-text po or nag-iwan po ng comment later on, babasahin po natin yan. Pero bago tayo umarangkada sa mga text messages natin, gusto ko munang pag-usapan natin, Sir Itos, kasi di ba kanina nga nasabi mo yung may nabanggit ka kasi about dito sa BRICS. Actually, di ba habang lumalaki yung utang natin, palaki ng palaki na halos hindi na natin mabayaran, na meron naman pala tayong ibang paraan para makahiram ng pera at a very low interest at hindi, kumbaga parang hindi natin isasakripisyo yung taong bayan natin, di ba, Sir Itos? Can you explain bakit mahalaga na ang pagtuunan nito ng pansin ng ating Pangulong BBM? Kasi hindi ko alam kung hindi niya ba alam itong BRICS na ito, bakit nakasiksik siya sa IMF, nakasiksik siya sa iba pang mga kabal, sabi nga ni Carlo Ifay, mga kabal. Itos?
Yes, hindi ko masagot yun kung bakit hindi po niya binibigyan ng importansya ng BRICS, no? It is the most important organization in the world right now, yung BRICS. Wala nang ibang pinaka-importante more than this right now po. Ang BRICS po ay stands for Brazil, Russia, Ireland, China, and South Africa, I think. But there are, as mentioned, Crossfire, there are more than 50 nations that want to join the BRICS already. Now, this represents more than half of the world population. Ano po ang gusto nila layunin ng BRICS? Ang BRICS po ay nire-recognize nila na sira na po ang world monetary and financial system. The present petrodollar economy is destroyed. And therefore, they have to form their own international and monetary system, which will concentrate on development infrastructure of all nations. So it will not, India, it will not focus on speculation, on mga IPO na mga startup na tech, yung mga ganon. It will focus on hard energy projects, water projects, infrastructure, rail, steel, chemicals, petrochemicals, at lahat pa. Ngayon, there is a shift away from the dollar economy. Ibig sabihin, ang international trade ng BRICS ngayon ay denominated po, hindi na nila kailangan ng dollar. They do not use the dollar anymore. They use their own currencies. Okay, so that's what's happening right now sa mundo. Ngayon, may narinig na ba tayo ever na nabanggit po ng ating presidente, ating mga senador, yung mga giting na kongresista tungkol sa BRICS?
Wala.
Zero po. Zero po ang binabanggit nila. Pero, banggit sila ng banggit about yung war sa Ukraine, yung ating West Philippine Sea, na binubuli po ang mga fishermen daw natin. Diba? Araw-araw yun ang balita. Yun ang propaganda po. Propaganda. Ito yung gusto nilang pag-usapan natin. Pero hindi nila binabanggit po ang BRICS at yung mga development sa BRICS. Recently nga, sabi ni Ado Paglinawan kagabi, nag-joint statement itong Russia at si China, si Xi Jinping at si Putin. Sabi niya, we need world peace. We need world peace and let's develop together. Tapos, kung pinahinggan mo si US, yung mga liderato ng US ngayon, hindi, kailangan kalabanin natin yung Russia and China. Masamang tao yan. Bombahin natin. Yun lang ang narinig po natin. Ngayon, dito sa atin, yung ating presidente, tila gusto niyang makipagkaibigan lalo sa liderato ng United States at Britanya. The two leaders of the failed financial and monetary system that we have now. Ang sinasabi po natin, the boat is sinking, labas na tayo. Doon na tayo sa lifeboats. Natamaan na ng iceberg ang Titanic. Ba't pa tayo sumasayaw? Hindi ba? Alis na tayo dyan. At lulubog tayo. Ba't pa tayo nakikisayaw at nakikipagsosyalan sa ballroom ng Titanic, palubog na siya. Di ba? Yan ang sinasabi po natin. Okay, so this is what's happening right now. The most important event in human history at this present time is happening right now. And we seem to be oblivious. Zero talk. That's more than half the population of the world. India and China, Russia was one of the biggest producers of oil and natural gas. Yung Russia po. Saudi Arabia oil. Kalakalan na sila with China, Russia, Saudi Arabia, India. Tayo, anong ginagawa natin? Maharlika Fund? Hindi ba? Para kanino ba yung Maharlika Fund? Sino bang kikita dyan? Yung taong bayan ba?
Sila.
Paano kung hindi kumita? Sinong talo? Taong bayan.
Taong bayan pa lang.
Talo ba sila? Hindi naman nila pera eh.
Hindi.
Diba? So, this is what's happening now. And I wanted to discuss this in terms of whenever pinagsasabi natin na inflation and external debt, this is what's happening sa mundo ngayon. And BRICS is the solution for now. We have to join that group of nations. We have to do that to survive. If we do not, we will go down with the ship. Yun lang, Kat.
Ayokong sumama sa Titanic. Paglubog ng Titanic. Kayo na lang. Kaya lang ang problema yung mga leaders natin, no? At talaga naman, napakahirap na isipin na yung ating mga leaders, hindi sa ganitong pag-iisip meron not even one. Zero. Sabi mo nga, ito sa zero. Even yung mga legislators natin at yung mga nandyan sa mga nakaupo natin sa kabinete ng ating Pangulo, lalo na yung ating Pangulo, no? Nakakapanghinayang dahil mukhang hindi man lang niya nakuha yung yung tapang ng kanyang ama. But anyway, no, it's already 8:32 na po ng gabi at syempre kayo po ay patuloy na nakikinig dito pa rin sa RMN DZXL 558 kHz AM band at sabayan niyo po kaming napapanood sa pamamagitan po ng social media accounts ng Katipunan Channel o Partido KDP o Katipunan ng Demokratikong Pilipino sa inyong mga YouTube account. Yan. At siguro maaga tayo magbasa dahil marami tayong mga comments at para makapag-react pa itos, no? So it's time to read the text messages sent by our listeners. Their opinion does not necessarily reflect our own, but we reserve the right to read them to the public in the interest of freedom of speech. And of course, simulan natin yung ating mga text messages. Yan. Wait lang. Okay. Sabi ni... Wait lang Ayan. Okay. Simulan natin dito. Sabi ni Dominic De Mayo, good evening po. Ask lang po kung ano na po ang status ng CDC bill, aka Medical Martial Law. Kasi parang yan ang magiging stepstone para i-take over tayo ng USA through WHO. Good evening, may news po ba na pinagbotohan daw sa US Congress ang pagbomba sa Taiwan? Parang isang tao pero dalawa question niya. Sa US Congress ang pagbomba sa Taiwan factory ng semiconductor, MSD. Thank you very much daw po. Ayan, Itos, maganda siguro yung unang question niya muna. Kung ano yung status ng CDC.
Well, according to CDC PH sa update sila, they are planning to railroad this bill. Ibig sabihin, walang public hearings, walang and baka by in the next couple of days gusto na nila ipasa. Pag pinasa nila yon, for signature na lang si presidente or veto, tanggalin niya. So from tomorrow till Wednesday, I think, ang alam ko may mass movement dyan sa Senate. There will be protest actions there, and hopefully they can get some audience with the principals, which is Cheese Escudero, Senator Cheese, and the others. So that's the latest for that so-called medical martial law. Okay. But let's see, many things can still happen. Super Sally, would you want to say something?
Super Sally.
Okay. Anyway, tapos yung second question, the second question is about the bombing. No, I don't know about the news, kung binomba na talaga yung semiconductor and all of that. But I do know, ang alam ko, one of the biggest investors sa US, si Warren Buffett, binenta na niya lahat ng shares sa Taiwan Semiconductor, I think last month pa. Okay, so may alam siya. Something's going to happen. Taiwan Semiconductor is the biggest semiconductor company in the world. And Warren Buffett supposedly unloaded. Sinasabi lang unloaded, ibig sabihin binenta niya. Ibig sabihin may mangyayari sa Taiwan. So let's see. So Super Sally, you want to say something about the CDC?
Okay, sorry. I only am aware that the lawyers and a lot of the members of CDCPH are working very hard to raise awareness in the Senate across all of the senators. A position paper was submitted, and I know they are working with other senators as well to provide them with information so that they would understand the bill and hopefully will stand up and even interpolate for the bill. So I think the next few days are going to be very important. There is a petition that's going around. I don't know if you mentioned that for signing for people who are concerned that's being shared. So hopefully people will sign that if they disagree with the bill. And it's important for people to make themselves aware of what this bill is and to talk about it, including with your LGUs, because you know, they may have contacts and they will also talk. It's important that everyone in society stands up against what they don't want. So yeah, thank you. We'll know more within the next few days.
Yes, good. Yes, we'll pray and keep updated on that. Thank you, Super Sally.
Welcome.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, next comment, sabi ni Stormy Savvy, kung wala tayong kampihan sa US at China, ligtas na po ba tayo sa World War III? Bakit walang kumokontra sa mga government officials sa legislative at judiciary natin? Nagsusulong ng bakuna at lalo na sa media. Yan ang sabi ni Stormy Savvy. Do you want to comment, Itas? Okay, next, Freddy Ordina, give them bread and entertainment. Sabi na Roman Empire. Sports like football, basketball, teledrama, noontime show capture the creative minds of people away from a creation. Sabi naman ni Pedro Hill, and drugs too. Sabi ni Jinky Bill, good evening, sir. Itos and Ma'am Cathy, watching from Germany. Thank you, Jinky Bill. Miss Universe muna, panoorin ng iba. Ha, 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 sabi niya. And then sabi ni Super S, education system has also fallen so badly that the people are not well educated. Also dumbed down through social media and gadgets. The movie Wall-E is also very predictive. Sabi naman ni Pedro Hill, hello po, good evening. Karen De Villa is also a member of the WEF. She organized the Manila Hub, like what BlackRock did to Ukraine, wherein they bought 30% of the lands in Ukraine. Sabi ni Stormy Savvy, bakit po hindi masabi ng presidente ang kapalit ng pagsama natin sa US para malaman natin kung worth it para ma-justify? Mayayaman ba? Sabi niya. At sabi ni Arroyo, Janet, good evening po sa lahat ng viewers. Good evening po, Sir Itos Valdes. With S po in busy. Happy Mother's Day po sa ating mga nanay at sa ating mga nanay din. Good evening po, Madam Cathy Cruz. Good evening din, Mama Janet. At maraming pang nanonood sa mga nagbablog kaysa Usaping Bayan. Naku, totoo ka dyan. At sabi ni Luz Verminda Cabanela, yan, good evening, good po. Joe Bederio, magandang gabi KDP, Ma'am Cathy Soritos, mabuhay po, watching from the Ma'am KSA. At sabi ni Astro Padiernos, good evening. Jose Jones Pedregal, yan, naka-check-in din sa atin, kasama si Winnie Donaire. Kiara Dizon, sabi niya, hello po, good evening, watching from Cavite. Thank you, Kiara. At sabi ni Melvin Samson, please watch this short video on prayer by clicking the link. Yan, may binigay siyang link. At sabi ni Lynn Mutas Sarko, good evening po from Bacolod. Mula kay Quintin Labrador, sabi niya, good evening. Sad to say, ang mga ginagawa ngayon ng fake president na si BBM ay pagnanakaw at mga bagay na ikalulugmok ng buong bansa. Sabi rin ni Benjamin Gutierrez, sana magkaroon tayo ng president gaya ni Trump. At sabi ni Alfredo Redina, present, our military plus agro are influenced by USA. The fund will invest via Wall Street and via oligarchs project. Sabi naman ni Boyet Periabras, magandang gabi po mga katipon, sa daming katiwalian ng McCoy administration, napakatahimik ng oposisyon at ang media, bakit kaya? Magkano ang dahilan? From Subic. Sabi naman ni Dennis Estebal, truth. Luis Gerald, good evening po. The two, as far as English concerned, yes, nagsasabi naman tayo niyan. Pero kinakailangan mag-Tagalog dahil wala naman tayo sa States para mag-English all time po. Ginastify yata ni Luis. At sabi naman ni Mangagoy Bislig, keep, Natulias, please release General Palparan, Attorney Okay, Virgilio Villanueva. Sana pala si Lenny ang nanalo para sigurado tayo. Dami palang mali ni PBBM. Dapat palansi, Lenny na lang ang dapat pala si Lenny na lang ang presidente kasi ilalagay pa tayo sa gera ni PBBM. Gusto mo mag-comment dito?
You know, yung ano ka dyan is there are two sides of the same coin. Sadly, it's coming out. Kasi, alam mo, pag ang gusto mong kontrolin ng isang bansa, wala kang pakialam kung sinong nanalo. Pakialam mo lang kung sino man na nakaupo dyan, kontrolado mo. Ngayon, kontrolado na nila ang ekonomiya natin, ang pera natin. Kahit sino ngayon ang umupo dyan, kontrolado nila. It doesn't matter who it is. And just for a little bit of background, si Lenny po, yung supporters ni Lenny, puro po kakampi ni Biden. Puro Democratic Party po. Kasama niya po si Obama, kasama doon si Hillary. Hindi mag-iiba yan. So, lalo na. And kung maalala po natin, si Obama at si Hillary, gusto nila ng gera against China and Russia. Yan po ang sumusuporta kay, yung mga tao nila ang sumusuporta kay Lenny. Yan po. So it will not have been different. It might have even been more immediate, worse, because President Marcos has Sara with him. So there is a big difference there. Sara is, whether she likes it or not, she has more of her father's blood in her. Right? And so Sara is more of it seems like a very independent thinker. Okay? And she doesn't go with the flow. Hindi siya interested makipagkaibigan. Ang interest niya, ito yung kailangan natin gawin. It seems that way. Because wala siyang pakialam sa mabangong pangalan eh. Kaya mahal siya ng tao eh. Kaya gusto siya ng tao eh. Yung criticism ko kay President Marcos ngayon, parang tila gusto niya makipagkaibigan sa lahat ng tao eh. Unity daw, di ba? He will be a healing president. You cannot do that. You have to just do the right thing. at risk of your own lives, you dedicate your lives as president to the Filipino people. But no, I don't agree with that Lenny would have been better. I think she would have been worse. Yun lang po.
Correct ka dyan, Itos. Parang pangatlong correct na to na sinabi ko sa iyo ngayon. Pero totoo naman na, alam mo, naalala ko yung sinabi ni Chairman Sabi ni Chairman, ilang dekada na tayo na nagpapalit lang para lang tayong nagpapalit daw ng damit sa ating mga leaders ngayon. Pero wala pa rin nangyayari sa atin dahil unang-una, hindi nila kayang panindigan ang kapakanan ng sambayan ng Pilipino. Ang mas pinapanindigan nila ay yung kanilang kapakinabangan, hindi yung kapakinabangan ng taong bayan. Nakakalungkot na yung mga leaders natin, lagi tayong every election na nag-hope tayo, nakikita natin pag-asa na baka siya na yung sagot sa lahat ng problema ng taong bayan. Siya na yung sagot sa kagutuman. But at the end of the day, nagkamali pa rin pala tayo, 'di ba? So, sino ba yung mga leader ngayon? Isipin niyo na po, lalo na anyway, 5 years from now, election na naman. Pero sino ba yung nakikita nyo na mga mambabatas natin, mga politiko natin, na kaya tayong panindigan? Na kaya tayong ipagtanggol sa mga oligarko, kaya tayong ipagtanggol sa mga dayuhan. Yun lang yun. Kasi kung hindi nila tayo kaya, mag-isip na kayo. Kinakailangan pa ba natin na panatilihin yung mga leader na nandyan na ibinebenta tayo at kinilalagay tayo sa langanin? Hindi ba? Ganun lang naman yun, Idol. Diba? But anyway, we still have comments. Sabi ni Cecilia Apolis, sabi niya, good afternoon, watching from Italy. Nakakaawa naman tulong mga Pilipino kung may mangyari sa kanila. At happy Mother's Day daw, sabi ni mga Goy Bislig. At sabi ni Kiara Dizon, masarap po pakinggan ang paliwanag dito. Nako, totoo po yan. Number 1 ako taga-nga rin nito pagdating sa pagpapaliwanag. Marami pa po yan. Kayaan nyo, darating ang panahon, may Saturday class uli. Diba, Itos? At sabi ni naman ni Alfredo Oredina, Maharlika Boldiakera. Maraming expose about Bongbong Marcos o First Gentleman at Liza Smoggs. Edka, kay Pro Conan? Sabi naman ni Robert Cruz, hawak din ng mga kabal ang BRICS. Ito ang kanilang gagamitin towards New World Order. Can you comment on that, Itos?
Well, it's too early to tell. Definitely, I am sure gusto nilang hawakan yan. And may mga elemento within those countries that are also traitors to their countries and traitors to what the BRICS wants to. The whole point of this is kung hawak kung ang BRICS is going against the war effort. If those countries are going against the war effort, if they're already going against the petrodollar system, which has caused untold suffering and death to many countries since after World War II, if they're going against that, paano po makokontrol ng kabal yan? Okay? Gustong makikontrol yan, for sure. Meron yan. But they are not using the same institutions as the so-called quote-unquote cabal wants. So yes, there will be an effort to undermine it, lalo na pag ngayon, I'm sure. Yes, and an effort to influence the leadership, maybe even take them out para makontrol nila. Pero everything that the BRICS is saying, the same thing was said by Franklin Roosevelt before he died and towards the end of the World War II, which is directly against the speculative banking economy and the banking oligarchy. So lahat na sinasabi nila against doon sa kabal for now. Okay, so I'm inclined to believe that these nations are independent enough to be able to fight. Right now, what you can do is they will fight. You're fighting for your people, you're fighting for your, as Sally said, your world citizens. Itong mga to, ayaw ng gera, gusto bagong banking system. How can you go against that? Yun lang po.
Tama. And additional, sabi rin ni Alfredo Redina, magkasama na ang dilaw kay BBM. Meron pa bang rally sina Baba Reyes at Rappler Inquirer? Sama na din. At sabi naman ni Dennis, you cannot be a friend to all. I agree. Si PBBM parang namamangka sa dalawang ilog. It's tremendous balancing act in the geopolitical arena. Mahirap ang sitwasyon niya as leader. Yan ang sagot niya. You want to comment, Itos, with that? And
Mahirap yung situation niya, pero mas mahirap ang sitwasyon ng 85% of our kababayan. Di ba? Kasi wala na silang mampakain sa anak nila, wala na silang pera. Hirap na sila sa buhay. So you tell me kung anong mas mahirap gawin. To fight for your countrymen who need you at this moment, or to balancing act and try to be friends for everybody. I think the choice is obvious.
alam nyo na. At sabi naman ni Dominic Demay, good evening. Latest in Sudan war, almost 16,000 American citizens left and abandoned by the US. Paano pa kaya citizen ng ibang bansa? Mas lalo silang walang pakialam. Take note of that, sabi ni Dominic Demayo. At syempre, I just want to recognize din yung ating mga kasama mula sa Zoom. Sana po mas marami pa ang makasama natin. Of course, Giancarlo Iway, Connie Blanco. Magandang gabi sa'yo, Connie Blanco. Next time, baka may question kayo, just raise your hand. And of course, si Dennis. Si Dennis nagko-comment siya. Thank you, Dennis, for joining us. Johnny Bentosa, ang ating suke. Of course, si Joy Renti. At si Rene. At si Super S. Yan. Sana po mas marami pa po tayong makasama dito sa Zoom. At syempre sa lahat po ng mga kababayan natin na nanonood sa pamamagitan ng mga social media accounts natin sa ating FB page na Katipunan ng Demokratikong Pilipino, and of course YouTube account po natin, ay patuloy po kayong sumubaybay dahil mas marami po tayong maiinit na pag-uusapan sa loob at labas ng ating bansa. Kinakailangan po maintindihan natin kung bakit ba. Madalas po kasi nagtatanong tayo bakit mo parang hindi natatapos ang problema ng bansa, ng ating bansa o ng buong mundo? Dito po sa ating katipunan, katulad po ni Professor Butch Valdes na yumao na po at nandito si Itos, ay papaliwanag sa atin saan ba nagsisimula yan. Kasi ang pinakamahirap sa lahat ay ang hindi natin alam paano nagsimula, saan nagmula. Kung alam natin, paano natin lalabanan? Diba? Kinakailangan alam din natin kung saan ba nanggagaling ang mga kasinungalingan at ano ba ang katotohanan. At kapag alam na natin ang katotohanan, kailangan panindigan po natin. At sana sa lahat po ng makasama namin sa Zoom ay mas marami pa tayo na makasama dito, marami pang magtanong. At sa lahat po ng ating mga kababayan, of course, marami pong salamat. Dahil alam ko yung iba po na nakikinig sa pamagitan po ng radyo, yung mga suki po natin, wala pa po akong mai-anunsyo sa inyong text line. But sooner, maybe this Sunday will work out po namin na makabalik po ang ating text line dahil alam ko po yung mga nasa malalayong probinsya po, mga texters po natin, mga suki ni Professor Butch ay magiging suki rin ni Itos Valdes. Parting message na lang, Itos, bago tayo magwakas sa ating palatuntunan.
Hindi. Thank you lang sa mga guests natin, of course, our regulars, plus and then we had the privilege of having Super Sally here tonight. Salamat po sa mga taong continuing to listen to us and to have us explain, help us try to make sense of ano pong nangyayari sa mundo at yung ano pong kailangan natin gawin as citizens of the Philippines and world citizens as well, sabi nga ni Super Sally. So, again, pagpatuloy po natin yung laban, hindi titigil lang ng ating katipunan. We need to rebuild this nation, but first we have to save it from all threats, internal and external. So with that, salamat Cathy, salamat Ver sa ating mga giting na technicians natin at sa mga may giting na tao sa engineers sa RMN DZXL. Salamat po at binigyan niyo kami ng pagkakataong umere ulit every Sunday, 7 to 9 p.m. lang lahat. Thank you, Kat.
Thank you, Itos. And of course, sa lahat po ng ating mga kababayan, kung may mga nais po kayo na ibahagi sa amin ng mga impormasyon o mga links na pwede po ninyo ibahagi sa amin, mag-iwan lamang po kayo ng comment sa atin pong mga social media accounts. Nandiyan po ang ating YouTube at ang ating pong FB page, para nang sa ganon ay patuloy po tayong makapag-ugnayan. At kung may mga nais po kayo na talakayin po natin, maaari po kayo mag-iwan na rin ng message at sasagutin po namin yan at isasama po namin sa aming tatalakayin sa susunod na mga linggo. So stay tuned sa ating mga susunod pa, at sa nakikinig po sa RMN DZXL, meron po tayong mga susunod pong palatuntunan, and please stay tuned always sa ating pong himpilan. Sa ngalan po ng ating mga katipon dito sa ating katipunan at magagaling na staff ng DZXL Radyomon Nationwide, kami po ay pansamantalang nagpapaalam at nagpapasalamat na sinamahan niyo kami ngayon, ang Hora de Peligro ng ating bayan at ng buong mundo, dito sa ating katipunan. Hanggang sa linggo pong muli mga katipon, alas 7 hanggang alas 9 po ng gabi. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat.
Inyong napakinggan si Itos Valdes kasama si Cathy Cruz at iba pang katipon na nakilahok sa talakayan.
Ating Katipunan.
Samahang muli si Itos Valdes sa susunod na linggo alas 7 hanggang alas 9 ng gabi sa himpilan ng RMN DZXL 558 kHz AM band at social media accounts ng Partido KDP.
Ating Katipunan.